the Red Canyon Dominance Battle. This time with actual commentary, as my last video actually didn't have any commentary on it.
I am not certain I will be able to sleep sound. I shall allow you to turn back.
This battle is unique in that it's your house's very first battle, and Sothis will introduce you to the concept of the Divine Pulse, which will let you rewind any bad battle situation that didn't go in your favor, or in case an option happened and things didn't go according to plan.
The Red Canyon. Let's get this battle up.
Nice, Chief. Shut.
According to our information, if we advance, I'll leave the rest to you.
Now, obviously, it's good to take a look at the map. Don't really worry about unit placement. You have very few units to begin with. You've got some thieves at the front, which are going to be your first big obstacle. Some thieves in the back. And the west, as Dimitri has just said. To be perfectly honest, it doesn't really matter whether you just charge all at once or you split your team up, because the conditions are to defeat the enemy commander, which is this guy. But if it makes it easier to split your team up and cover all the units, especially if you want to grab all that experience, I would highly recommend it. Now, I'm going to use Byleth and Dimitri just to cover in the meantime. I'll have Ash and Annette move up.
What should I do?
I'll have to do Felix move in. Ingrid's a little bit farther back than I'd like, but whatever.
I'm on it.
Everyone should get the chance to at least take down one opponent. The reason why I'll have Dimitri and Byleth at the front engaging the enemies is because they're the strongest. Or they're likely to be the strongest. And they can take the most damage and break the first wave of the thieves. And the reason why that's important is because now you're going to be positioning your other units to fall in place. Of course, with Dimitri and Byleth serving as a sort of a backup. And that's important because you want to make sure that your units are getting experience and not falling behind in some way, shape, or form. That would be bad for a number of reasons. Now my team's a slight bit stronger than normal, but nothing's too different. Make your way up slowly. Don't overcommit. You'll find that the thieves aren't too strong no matter who you have in your party, as long as you engage them 1 or 2 at a time. More than that, and you risk the thieves becoming a bit too much for your units to handle, and your students are likely not going to be very strong at the very beginning of the game because, well, it's the beginning of the game.
Just give up. This is what I had to do it.
If you can take down the archer, that's always the preferred option because the archer can't fight back. And if you're using a close combat fighter like the Blue Lions has plenty of, you'll find that the archer won't be able to do much in terms of retaliation, so they're a really good target to take down.
I had no choice. I did it!
You have Annette being proud that she took a life, because, of course. I'm going to actually have Dimitri move in. Byleth is going to take this out. You don't want to leave the thieves alive for too long. I realize that sounds a little bit cruel, but it's also the case, because the longer that they stay alive, the faster they are going to approach your units and gang up on you.
Each battle, a chance to grow.
Always check the attack range and position your units accordingly. You can check the attack range with ZR. Position your units accordingly so no one gets left behind or is accidentally drawn into the attack range without intending to be there. And that's very important because as long as your units are out of the attack range, they're never going to get targeted or thrown into combat with the enemy. It just won't happen. The game won't allow such a thing to happen. But if they aren't in that attack range, you can definitely expect a unit to just walk up and obviously engage in combat with your students.
Getting stronger.
Do remember who's in that range, who should and shouldn't be, and plan accordingly. And sometimes you don't even have to move your units. You have them move to the side, out, reposition a few people. I'll just move Ingrid around like so. And just end my turn to have the units just walk towards my other students. It's a great way for baiting the enemy to get them to come towards you while not overcommitting your units to fights that they're not really prepared to win.
Too easy. Finished already? I was hoping for more of a challenge.
Not overcommitting is really important because the more your units are committed, the harder it is for them to get necessary support that they need in order to beat their enemies.
No hard feelings. I hope the god is blessed.
Also, a great way to tell which unit an enemy will target if they are in the attack range is by hovering over that unit and seeing who's got the target either above their portrait or below their position on the map. In this case, this unit's going to target Ash. That was a move done on purpose, by the way, because I had to lure him out. But take your time, move slowly, and again, don't overcommit. Now, I'm not going to have Byleth solo the enemy all by himself. That would be stupid. I'm just repositioning the units so that Byleth will bait out anyone who's in that range.
I did what I had to.
Now, one of the bandits will have a chest key, and he'll have the green item icon that indicates he's got an item that he will drop once you kill him. In this case, it's a chest key,
Can't relax here.
which you can use to open this chest. Now, almost everyone's killed a unit. Oops, I forgot to heal Sylvain. Thankfully, that's what a vulnerary is for. And he's good to go. Now, I'm actually going to start splitting my students up, just so that we've got an even balance. I'm going to actually move Annette out, because it's really bad for her to be within range. To build some support, I'll move Byleth to the side. Notice Byleth would always get attacked anyway, because as long as you're in that zone of engagement, he will be attacked by someone or something. Now, as Ingrid's got the chest, I'm going to move her up and forward. I'm actually going to have Mercedes heal up Sylvain while we're here.
No. I'm on it.
Sylvain's going to target this archer. The archer can't fight back. Don't care how cowardly that sounds. Felix looks like he can finish off this bandit. Also, notice that you might have noticed if you're paying attention, but I haven't equipped Felix with a battalion. This is also a chance to really get to know a student's special abilities. In Felix's case, his strength comes from not having any sort of battalion equipped on him or a unit around for support. Ash can't reach, but Annette can draw some fire, of course, but in the long run, it's better for her experience.
Oh, thank goodness. Am I making...
Not really worried about the axe. Have to do move forward, while Dimitri still stays at the side.
Now.
Enemies can use gambits too, but again, that shouldn't have been a big surprise. Even if the gambit does no damage, you can still be affected by it, which is why it's also important to note A, what the heck is going on, B, what gambits an opponent may or may not have, and then C, what a gambit would do if it affected you. You can usually tell that by going over. We'll look at the enemy commander, pressing X, and seeing it go pressing ZR or ZL just to see what battalion he has. Oops. And what the ability is. Anyway, in this case, the dude can't move because he's just been hit. Ingrid's gonna step out for a little bit. And she's gonna finish up that bandit with an iron bow.
If I'd hesitated, that...
Dimitri's gonna move on ahead. And of course, just to give Mercedes some experience, I'm gonna have her heal anyone who's left. Slowly but surely advance. And that's the biggest thing that people tend to mess up on when they first play. They think,
Damn! They're coming from...
I'm going to charge in, I'm going to assault I'm going to kill everybody. Rushing in is easily the quickest way to get yourself killed. Always take your time and inch up. I don't care that I'm playing on normal casual and this is a scrub level decision. If you're new to the series, work your way up. You're not trying to break any records right now, you're not trying to speedrun anything, you're just working your way up. Sylvain, a bit more experience. Going to have Net and Brown. This is backup. Ingrid's going to open that chest. Get a large bullion as a reward. Gonna have Ash move to the side of Dimitri, who will move back and have Dedu covering his back. Mercedes moves to the side. This formation is also really optimal for getting some more support.
Saw that coming. You're out of luck. This is what a...
There aren't that many units left and the bandits have mostly been finished off. But again, don't get arrogant because this is, again, the part where people tend to lose units because they think, oh, they can't do anything to me, they're weakened. Not true. Not true at all. In fact, it's likely because they are not weakened that they still pose a considerable threat.
had to be done. I won't let it.
Now, the enemy commander may look like a threat, but he cannot move past that red X unless you provoke him. By red X, I mean this target range. ZR will show you everyone's target range. He won't move too far from it. Just to balance things out, I'm going to have to do smack that thief again. And have Ash take him out.
That was tough.
Level up.
Is the
And finally use Mercedes to heal.
Thank you.
And since that's everyone and there's no point waiting around anymore, the leader Costas won't move unless you attack him outside of his range or move into his range. I'll just pause or end the turn and early. And have Byleth finish off Costas for the end of the mission.
Such
If you're having trouble with Costas,
We have defeated the
use your
thieves.
gambits. That's the
You'll follow
best
the knight's
way
instructions for what to do
to
next.
weaken Costas without actually allowing him the chance to retaliate. But you shouldn't have too much trouble with him. He's level
You
4.
let us well.
Really, this battle is all about making sure that you're advancing slowly but surely, taking things one step at a time, and not allowing the thieves to overwhelm you. Stay out of their attack range, bait them in with a tank like Dimitri, Dedu, or Byleth, and then have your units gang up on the thieves who run and are baited. Eventually, gang up on Costas, use gambits if your students are in trouble, but that's really the Red Canyon Dominance battle. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. If you did like it, please subscribe. There will be more videos like this in the future. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.